So, Ayushi, formally we can begin now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. William Shakespeare believed that his love is more desirable and has a more even temper than summer. So, are you one of those Shakespeare? Welcome all. I, Kiran Singh,
And I, Anushka Sharma.
the host of the day, extend a warm welcome to all at The Inkling, the slam poetry competition organized by Cultural Committee of P.G.D.A.V. Evening College. We feel extremely honored to introduce and welcome our judges of the day, Ms. Priyanka Chatterjee, ma'am. She has been teaching English language and literature in the Department of English of a college for the past 16 years. She has also been the teacher coordinator of Athena for the tenure 2019 to 2021. And Mr. Jaspal Singh Sir, Associate Professor in Department of English. We feel grateful to both the judges for accepting the invitation and making them present. Further, I find immense pleasure to welcome our teacher coordinators of the event, Dr. Rajkumari Pandey ma'am and Dr. Chandrakant Kushawa sir. And also, I feel pleasure to welcome the lady behind all the hard work, Ms. Udita Agarwal ma'am, the convener of Cultural Committee and Associate Professor in Department of Mathematics and our teacher. It's a matter of great pride for all of us to welcome the dignitary.
Moving further, let's begin. A horse, my kingdom for a horse, said by Shakespeare. The king wanted the horse so badly that he was ready to give his kingdom. So let's see, are the participants ready to get their horse by winning the battle? Here are the basic rules and regulations. Plagiarism is strictly prohibited. It would lead to direct disqualification. Time given to each participant is 4 minutes, 3 plus 1. Exceeding the time limit would lead to deduction in points. A warning will be given in the chat box when 1 minute will be left. Participants are requested to introduce themselves first. The content should be in English language only. Using any kind of inappropriate or unparliamentary language is strictly prohibited. Switching on the camera is mandatory. Now, you all can ask your queries using the chat box or by unmuting yourself. Okay, so buckle up and show your temper towards poetry. Here, we call our first participant Siddharth Thakur.
Before starting the event, I like to wish best of the luck to all the participants and to judges also. Participants should give should create problem for the judges. That is the uh, uh, parameter for a success of a competition. That should be there. And congratulations to all the organizers and all the best to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, Siddharth Thakur,
Am I audible and visible? Hello.
yes, you are.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Siddharth Thakur. I am a student of P.G.D.A.V Evening College. So today I'm going to present a poem which was composed by me last year in lockdown. So the title of my poem is Life in Lockdown. A free blackbird glides on the breath of the wind as it alters and floats along the flowing path till the cool current falters and swipes his wing in the melting sun, gazing to the beautiful scenes, daring to venture into the world, however, only in dreams, rising with the cordial sun, taking in the fresh fragrance of confusion, stirred from sleep to continue a life that seems like a fictitious illusion. Although the amber sun will still rise and cold moon set, I lie alone, choked by a thick web of apprehension as I get my education at home. Pad and pen maintain my comfort crumpled, crisp to keep my typing poetic lines, clutching to normality, reading works of fiction to gain closure, to lay awake till sunrise, sit in the window, wish upon gleaming constellation, painting in the space, waiting for structure, an old friend to gift consolidation. Am I audible?
Yes.
Chained to the spot by clear ropes of suggestion, captive like a songbird, politicians stumbling through the question fire, facts and fiction slurred, as a bird confined in a homely cage. We seldom see we are in an uncharted territory, awaiting the blaring news, the bliss of being limitless, for us to fly and tell our story. Yet still we flourish like unyielding bloom, reaching to the temperate kiss of sun, budding with time, evolving skills of aspiration in an anticipation of coming fun. When we can paint our smile into memory, losing masks and gloves as a community to be free of this pandemic, melt our chains as symbols, remembers our undying unity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. It was so wonderful to listen to you. I guess our judges have marked him. Miss Priyanka ma'am and Jaspeel sir.
Yeah, yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call Jude Fernandez.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and visible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, thank you so much. So, my name is Jude Fernandez. I am a student of MA in English at Goa University, Talegaon. My poem is titled Far From Equal, and it is a social commentary on the practice of gender inequality. I begin Far from equal. The doctor came out and announced to the world, I'm sorry, but it's a baby girl. The parents smiled with their bundle of joy, but secretly wished it was a boy. Gender equality is still a myth. Neighbors were curious about the baby. It should have been pedas, not jalebis. Two rounds of crackers instead of three. Who wrote these rules? We are simply not free. So many girls are killed before birth. Somewhere, someplace, toddlers are taught girls should choose pink while boys opt for blue. We are sorry, but this stuff is not for you. Don't be assertive. Don't argue much. Why separate boys and girls as such? A cultural program, it's time to prepare. Boys are called to arrange the chairs. Girls make the rangoli and present flowers, while boys sit back and pass comments on others. Gender equality is still a myth. Join the gym, be a muscular guy. I don't understand why boys shouldn't cry. Men also suffer in the patriarchy. Burdens and strain as the head of the family, more harm than help, you decide. Restricted access, don't make parents wait. It's not safe for girls, so don't reach home late. Traditional in nature, let your clothes cover. We'll choose your husband, don't chase a lover. Dowry is a headache, remember? When she was single, they called her deprived. Would she back out when the big day arrived? They brought up her past to limit her future. She hoped he was not a domestic abuser. Would they live happily ever after? A wife to a husband with pride and shame, they tried to define her by adding his surname. Then they had kids out of pressure and fear to make her forget her beloved career, busy with roles that tire them both. Hurt by insults that were disguised as jokes, angered by hypocrisy that provokes. Women and empowerment in the same sentence, or living a life of utter dependence? Gender equality is still a myth. Confined to a house that is too small to breathe, they rarely recognize the talent beneath. She decides to flourish like a fragrant flower while waiting on others to grant you your power. I'm already complete on my own 2 feet. Shy and alone, a rainbow must resist to come out of a closet that shouldn't exist. Love has no gender, not confined by clothes. If they love each other, who are we to oppose? Paint the canvas with true colors. All people are pretty, we are convinced we are not. The system controls us, we briefly forgot. Rigged to ensure that a few are winning, some are more privileged from the beginning. Gender equality is still a myth. Thank you very much.
Impressive presentation, Jude, I must say. Your speech control was excellent.
Thank
So,
you.
moving forward,
Thank you very much, ma'am.
I would like to call Mayank Joshi now.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Hello, my name is Mayank Joshi. I'm 19. I'm a student of Dun University. The title of my poem is The Crime of Our Lives. So here it goes. I'm driving a car in a road dark and dingy like my nail tips. My legs are numb and tingling are my hips. The breeze blows slow, your lustrous scent lingers. I'm counting our love affair on my maimed fingers. I always say my nights are moonless, but this one has a half moon, half like my heart and soul that you casually tore. Today I celebrate our anniversary of parting ways, the anniversary of breaking our vows and says. I heard tadpoles talking about us across the footpath. If I kept it all secret, then why do they know of my scars? You taught me how to drive even though I was just gazing at your eyes. Today I have no hands to hold, just memories of our gasping goodbyes. Today, I have no hands to hold, just memories of our gasping goodbyes. Babe, do you know what's sad? Is that you don't remember anything about all that went down. What's disappointing is that you are in bed with someone from Savvy Town. I wonder how for someone the first summer's rain is all they want to feel. How for the latter it's just water splashing down the bronze veil. How someone's happiness is someone's sorrow. How some thrive loneliness while some beg for a throne to borrow. Some fly away to a better world like you, and some are driving through highways of this ghastly earth like me. Well, this road is not ending, and I see a dark horned man at the end. His, his hair is long and grey, and his eyes are glowing red. I'm scared to get close to him, but intrigued to know him more. He might swallow me like a piece of meat or take my misery as a whole. But when will I reach to him and solve this maze of some sort? The loop of our memories, the trial of our failings at the court. Where I am the victim and you're the judge of the fantastical facade. I did say I love you first, but you sowed the seed to the plant. I haven't cried once, but you've shed all your $1,000,000 tears. I jump off the cliff every day and you lie peacefully in your lion's lair. You have all your toys, your keys, and your belongings. You have your peace in mind, but you don't have the one thing. The thing you only think of when the bullets go for your heart. Why can't you think of it when you have the gun like you did in the start? In retrospect, the start was also a end, although a bit different than this. Yes, there were a lot of bumps, but also a bickering bliss. The road where the crime of our lives took place. The road where I lost my honor and you relished my taste. The road where we first kissed and I rhymed your verses. The road which has led me to the well of my remorses. This might be the same road since I recognize all the curbs and lanes. Everything seems familiar except those cargo trains. Even the dark horned man reminds me of my unfathomable love for you, a love simmering slowly like a Sunday brunch stew. I want to stop, but the brakes failed a long time ago. I wish a truck would strike me, but apparently I'm the only clown in this show. The one dancing on the dark stage with all the lights on him, the one who still believes he's wearing the purple hat or at his own whims. There's no audience to humor, no applauses to receive. No one cares what the clown says, no one hugs him when he weeps. But the show must go on, is what everyone around him says, so I must also not lose hope for that I have to pay for the crime we committed since only one of us is left. And there is no better way to end this poem than by saying there is no end. Thank you.
Wonderful, Mayank. Your usage of words has bamboozled our minds. I must say that.
Oh, thank
So
you.
let's move on. Next, I'd like to invite Gargi.
I hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gargi. I'm a student at Doon University, and my poem is titled Confessions of a Timid Heart. It goes like this. A certain he has been writing about a certain her, and another certain she writes about another certain him. And I decided to write about you, trespassing through the pages of the diary I've been hiding behind the thickest books in my shelf. It reached out as a publicly open confession. I didn't mention your name, neither did I mention my own. I couldn't even dare to keep us under the same frame. Our worlds are different, yours and mine. Living in the same space, our realities differ. You are the life of the crowds I hide from, cherished by the people I dread. Yet my heart jumps, leaps, and bounds at your sight, with all its earnest longings, and wonder with its cherished tale of unrequited feelings. But for now, I'll stay back in the dark where I belong, watching you move on with your favorite crowd, fully aware of my unacknowledged existence. I'll let my soul burn in the heats of hope, hopes of that 10th year. Thank you.
Beautiful, Gargi. You literally hooked me up to my screen.
Thank
So
you.
let's move forward. Kirti, you are ready?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a
so go
second.
ahead.
Yeah. Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Indian women, on an average, spends nearly 5 hours every day on unpaid domestic work, compared to 98 minutes by men. Hello, everyone. This is Kirti Mundra from Indraprasth College for Women. Today, I'm going to recite a poem highlighting the atrocities faced by women in the lockdown. It's titled The Secret Recipe. Kitchen, a place of nourishment and skill, but also of the unvoiced rage and women's drill. Slicing carrots, peeling potatoes, washing cups, cutting tomatoes, sweeping, mopping, cleaning. Breakfast follows lunch, lunch follows dinner. Domestic drudgery goes on and gets more dimmer. All my life, I've seen my mother making dazzling dishes. But like the salt that disappears into rajma or a dal done right, every Indian household ignored my mother's plight. All my life, I determined myself to not turn into my mother. But then came the pandemic. I could no longer escape, and don't worry, men. Women are at your rescue. They will serve your children and the elderly, will ignore their self worth but treat you tenderly. Dismantling social hierarchy, challenging patriarchy, all this seems like a far fetched dream. But it might make us realize what's the secret recipe to our happy lives. Thank you.
Beautiful, Kirti. You reminded me of Shire. Have you heard of Shire?
I've heard of what I didn't. I was not able to listen.
Shire. She's a
Oh,
poet.
no, no, no. I have not heard of her.
Yeah, she has written a similar poem based on kitchen. She says, "Mother says there are locked rooms inside all women: kitchen of lust, bedroom of grief, bathroom of apathy. Sometimes the men they come with keys, and sometimes the men they come with hammers."
Oh, nice. I was not aware of it. Please send this poem on group once. I would love to read it.
Okay. So
Thank you.
right now we have to move forward, and I'd like to invite Ayaz Ali. Ayaz,
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Ayaz Ali Khan, a humanitarian from Ramjas College, Delhi University. The poem I am about to recite is titled I Know. I know we live in terrible times, of which I don't doubt. My heart trembles, seeing the screaming crowd. Truths are told, but of a kind to remind. But to whom and what at this precise time? Of the people's foolishness, I know and don't care. But why and who fools is the question that stares. I know you think I don't know your pain. Open your eyes, I live it day and again. I know your sons were killed and daughters raped. For me, same was it then, is now, and don't know till when. Your sentiments hurt and temples wrecked. I know how it feels, as repeatedly reoccurs the scheme. Your belongingness questioned on your own land. Day in and out, I hear the savages of a similar band. You pushed
so let's move forward, and I'd like to invite Shruti Ray. Shruti, are you there? Ayushi, is Shruti there?
I guess she's not available right now. We can call Razul, our next participant.
Okay, Rizal, I don't think Rizal is here. Does anybody want to do right now? Anybody interested?
No worries. We will call Manisha Jethwani this time. Manisha, are you ready?
Hello everyone, greetings to all the judges. This is Manisha Jetwani from Maharani University, Jaipur. And my poem today is, I should give a little brief about it, I guess. Sometimes when we are happy or sad or scared or basically feeling any kind of emotion, we get involved in it so thoroughly that it kind of takes over our lives and not in a healthy way. And sometimes it's a person that makes us feel that kind of way. So I've tried to mix both of these feelings and tried to play with my imagination a little and write this poem. It is called My See Through Moon, and I've tried to personify an emotion through it. So here I began. I always sense his aura in my vicinity. I hear his voice in every sound. I smell his presence in every breath I take. It's like he's always around. High heels on, just a couple steps before my feet catch the purple spotlight, before I become the sun on the stage with all the planets settle down their seats, envying me. He captures my hand and walks ahead. It hurts, but it's warm, and more than anything, it's familiar. And at least now I have a defense I can feed myself. It is him, not me. He comes around at midnight to drown my peace into dark. He comes back after every fight, before the hair I pulled out of my head could even grow. He comes in shadows and in traffic lights, in ocean waves and in towering heights, before the sorrow of losing a loved one, after the serene but triggering sight. He travels with me on my every journey home alone, imprisoning me in my own freedom as opportunities slip through my hands and sweat glides through my neck. And every time I try and disregard him, he kisses my mouth in between my words, making me forget the next thing I had to say. And I stammer and become the
The impressive performances of our participants.
Yes, I'm enjoying all of them. In between some names, I can see them on my sheet. I think they haven't been called out, right? Like Akshita and Gauri and Shruti.
Uh, Ma'am, they are not available today, so they won't be performing.
Okay, so let's not interrupt the flow of the program. It's going wonderfully. So maybe
Is the foe. It's quite short if you don't mind. I have a foe. It lurks beside me, wounding me with the hateful words. The blazing fire it throws at me reduces my strength to ash. The sneer it has for the decisions I make makes my crown tremble. The loathing it has for my body blemishes the beauty I possess. I have a foe. It laughs at my achievements. It questions my indecision. It destroys my believings. I have a foe. I touch its face every time a tear I wipe. I feel its breath every time I sigh. I meet its eyes every time the mirror reflects mine. Thank you.
A bit short, but quite powerful. Very powerful. So
Thank you.
uh, let's ask Jaspal sir what's his take on all the performances. Jaspal sir. Okay, let's move forward. So Swati Krishna.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, you are not audible. Mm, it's not now. You're not audible. There might be some technical issue, I guess. Okay. Okay, sir. We may carry on. Yeah.
Okay, Jaspal sir is having some internet connection problem, I guess. Let's move forward and call Swati Krishna.
Hi everyone, my name is Swati Krishna and I'm a student of Dolagram College. My poem is about the beauty, about what I imagine beauty to be. And I hope you would sit back and enjoy. I see a world when I seek beauty. At night, the moon shines in its gentle ripples, and on its banks I build my nest and I sleep. Next day, the net-light sky dives into a sea that sits gulping my broken yoke. When the stars fall and when my shadows disappear, I lock my castle and I walk into the sea. I promise not to return back, not to the noise of cities which exist in time and space. I walk into the sea that whirls within. I build there my throne and my own grave. Thank you.
Very good indeed. Your tone was impressive. Your eyes were shining when you were, reciting that poem. So let's move forward. Now, I would like to call Naman Khetan.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Am I properly audible?
Yes, you
yes,
are
Naman,
both
we can
audible
hear
and
you.
visible.
So, hello everyone. I am Naman Khetan and I am from IIT BHU, first year mechanical branch. The poem which I am going to recite is titled Angel versus Devil. This poem is about a gangster's soul and how it is treated differently by angel and devil. Through this poem, I want to convey that there are different perspectives of looking at a particular person. We should try to judge someone by not just one factor but by considering other factors too. Hence, the poem is as follows: suffering a deadly death with no one to mourn for this bloody head. This is the end of a gangster's life, having no children, no wife. Bullets were fuel of mine, the gun was car of my life, whichever I drove every day until I came my doorstep. My soul was taken by devil. We are on a journey to hell. A deserving gift for my deeds, as I never responded to anyone's needs. My mind was in afterlife, as I will face the blade of evil knife. I don't have any fear, but it will be too much pain to bear. Suddenly we stop. Out of the devil's cart I hop. Do we have reached the hell? I asked the devil. The angel has arrived, responds the devil with an evil one. Now I am standing in the middle of both, and the devil wants to rip apart the angel's throat. Now my fate hangs in a weight balance. It is devil's greed versus angel's grace. You have to come with me to heaven, where your afterlife will be woven. These words of angel ignites the evil laugh of devil. You are taking violence to live in purity. I think there is some ambiguity. Listening this, the angel smiles, telling me of some changes in my profile. He always cared and never run his car over the animals, though from inside he made himself an animal. These words are like an eye opener. How may so small flick defend such a deadly Yorker? Thinking all this, I embark on my journey to heaven to leave behind my depression and aggression. Thank you, everyone.
An impressive take and quite different point of view. I guess we ignore it most of the time. So, very well. Now, let's move forward and Vanshika Tandon.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are. You can continue now.
Okay. Before I start my poem, I just want to let you know that the poem that I'm going to recite today, I've tried to draw a parallel between the various omens and superstitions and the crime against women that we witness these days. So the title is Omen, pun intended, and I'll start. 1. Initially, every time I blinked, I closed another door of doubts against you. But this airy feeling lingered through the winds, even with my eyes shut. Eventually, I spotted your binoculars concealing a pair of eyes, which were the only constant in my ever changing sight. The corner of those eyes filled with goop of perverted intentions. They say eyes are a reflection of a person's soul, but your eyes made up for your missing soul by reflecting a running film of my life. I've been praying for your fall to every falling eyelash, trying to wash away your image with tears, but this twitch in my eye just doesn't leave. They tell me that I should have been careful while interacting with strangers. They're blaming me for being stalked. I blame the eyes that embodied evil without any twitch and ruined my life. 2. I met you while searching for a hand I could hold for traversing to the journey of life. With chivalry quoted on your right hand and superiority on the left, you chose to stretch out the latter one for a handshake. Your handwritten poetries titled me as your fortune. But as you slid a shackle shaped as a halo on my finger, I realized how your mistitled etching in your left palm is a sacred sign. With greed running through every single line of your palm, you taught me that fortune has two definitions. I've been trying to get rid of this itch in my right palm caused due to the loss of my fortune. They tell me that I should feel guilty for being the inferior sex. They're blaming me for having to pay dowry for my marriage. I blame those who led to the itch in my right palm, inviting misfortune for me. 3. I decided to live with a cracked glass window because I was familiarized with every corner of it. I tried to be sensitive towards its flaws, but soon my slightest movement and my high pitch triggered the structure to fall apart. Before me were uneven, imperfect, broken shards only aiming to hurt me. The bigger pieces marred my fortune as I bled of misfortune, and the smaller ones spiked its stomach, leaving behind a persistent pain. I tried to get rid of the mess and wipe off the false familiarity, but the tendency of something damaged is to spread the damage even more. It found a way to break me. They tell me I should have been careful. After all, glass is meant to be fragile. They're blaming me for being hit by my husband. I blame the glass that decided to break and ruin my life. 4. I let the vicious beast cross my path. Its yellow eyes were brimming with the wildest intentions. They contained its secrets. They carried its real character, and yet they were wide, sharp, and devoid of any guilt. As if with the motive of scaring away my innocence, it undressed my fortune with those knife like eyes. Its coat was a daunting shade of black, dark enough to hide its crimes. Fear crept through my fortune. I managed to walk away, my faltering steps fueling the random profanities, but their crass, coordinated howls still resonate through my head. They succeeded in scaring away my luck. They tell me I should not have worn a short skirt as it acts as a bait for them. They blame me for being catcalled. I blame the pack of howling dogs that decided to ruin my day. You see, every victim needs a criminal to blame, but it's not always necessary that the person victimized or the person criminalized deserves the title. So, when trying to justify a heinous crime for a victim, just make them the criminal. Or when desperate to find a criminal, blame the omens. Thank you.
Excellent presentation, Vanshika. Your highs and lows of voices just took us on a roller coaster of a musical journey, I must say. It was quite impressive. So, next calling, Ashika Gupta.
Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are. You can continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ashika Gupta from P.G.D.A.V Memorial College. The theme of my poem revolves around women and depression, which I have ever thought. I feel like I am a burden. A fine Sunday morning, I dozed off dreaming. Oh, sorry, cursing the me I shouldn't have been. A dark skin is vulnerable to abhorrence, she said. And introversion makes us grim. So grow up. A backless dress, waving hair, touch up, and with heels on. Girl, you're perfect to go on. Always remember, you have to feed what the world needs. Else can I do rather than dodging all the footsteps in the way I got? Don't make an eye contact. I remember she had taught, as it hints something wrong. All alone in this world full of crowd. Stay positive. You are the best is all what I have started to doubt. I feel like I am a burden. All exhausted, wallowing in grief, I stand, counting the days that went, the hours I had rented for slumbering in their shell and slaying all that one can sell. Gloom and despair seem to be my companion of terror, running through the nerves to the soul that aspires. I swear it grows up even scarier. I feel like I am a burden. Passing through the yellow of time, I realized it ain't something right. Something which sailed me through the imprints of my childhood to the woods of loneliness and duties isn't justified. Again, I confronted the mirror, but this time possessing a discreet demeanor. All I can breathe is all I can breathe. Thank you.
Very well, Ashika. Your topic was quite impressive. I guess we all can relate today. And we will wonder that when did we separate it? Our body and ourselves. Weren't we supposed to be together? So I guess we should move on and call our last participant of the day, Rachna Krishna. Okay.
Hello, I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, you are. You can continue.
Greetings to everybody present here. Giving this poem a little prelude. Ever wondered how, even in a huge crowd, you stand alone? At times, you don't feel belonged when the whole world points out on you and you stand there like a neon jacket amidst the sober colors. The heart hasn't felt home in the wild world. You feel homesick. The heart's wandering to places, trying to feel home. The heart is at a chaos. But you stand strong, celebrating life even if you don't belong. This poem, written in simplest words, is to all the misfits out there who are not afraid to fight, who are not giving up. This poem is ours, friends. The Wandering Heart. In the darkness of my burrow, I was sitting leaning against the window, watching thunders tear the sky as cold rains wipe my tears dry. A million things going on in life when blind stereotyping is so rife. I watch my reflection, a tiny raindrop, asking myself, not fitting in makes me a flop? My heart wanders from place to place, sometimes to the city's fast race, sometimes to the highest snow cap. Where do I belong in all the trap? Like a colored square in the chessboard, I might not be someone who's adored. Is my life a black in the rainbow? Am I really swimming against the flow? But when it rains, people run and huddle. But I walk out to get drenched in my hustle. While seasons mercilessly transform, you'd see me gracefully dancing in the storm. You'd see a faint smile on my lips on any day, even when the toughest fights come my way. I don't mind being the misfit of the crowd. This is my journey, and I'm proud. I'd stand in the deepest of woods alone. I'd stand in the windiest cyclone, not intimidated by the vast sea. I'm here to conquer, not to flee. Thank you.
Quite nice. So all the participants and all the entries have ended now. If anyone has missed or is present here and want to um, present at last moment, they can. I guess no one is there. So let's move ahead. Now I would like to call Miss Priyanka Chatterjee ma'am for her words of wisdom and giving blessings to all.
Kiran, thank you. But I think you should call Jaspal sir first. He's my senior. So let's hear him first, okay?
Priyanka, go ahead. Yeah, no issue.
No, sir. I've been talking continuously.
Okay. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all the participants. It's been most enjoyable. As Udita ma'am said, she hoped that you would make life difficult for the judges. You have successfully done that. So much of this, what you have read and written, beautifully presented, straight from the heart. And I don't think we should actually be judging it at all. It has all sounded so sincere. And you touched upon so many things. Most of the participants were girls, and they brought out, their experiences very forcefully. Most impressive. And so it's been fun listening to you. And of course, it's a very unpleasant task for us to judge it. But no matter whoever, we place first or second, I hope you keep on writing and writing straight from the heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words were quite impressive, and I agree that every entry was so much powerful and so much expressive that it just goes out of our mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I would like to call Chandrakant sir to say a few words to motivate our participants.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Jaspal sir and Priyanka ma'am. Sir, it is technically I would say it was my first time organizing such a event, especially English poetry separately.
And successfully done, Chandrakant. Thank you to your anchors as well.
Actually, that's not entirely true, because Chandrakant has been helping me for the past 3 years. So, not first time. He was a big help when we.
From that point of view, yes.
Yeah, carry on.
So from that point of view, I would like to thank our judges and the participants as well, because without them, it would haven't been such a great event. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, a big congratulations to all the organizers. I'm especially thankful to the convener of the culture committee, Udita ma'am, and the teacher coordinator of this event, Dr. Rajkumari Pandey and Chandrakant, and also the student coordinators, Akash and Ayushi, and the anchors also, Kiran and Anushka. Well done. And what do I say for the participants? I really enjoyed all your presentations, and they were on so many issues. And I love the poems which were on experiences as a woman. There were quite a few, from being treated as a burden or living life under the male gaze on gender equality, inequality, and also the other poems which also ranged on different issues like heartbreak and the tussle of the soul between good and evil and religious discrimination. So I was really spellbound by the variety of the issues you've taken up. You're all such young and you're writing so well. It was a pleasure listening to all of you, but judgment is a very difficult task. I was wondering how to judge all these beautiful flowerings of the soul. So please keep writing. Your journey has just started, and you have miles to go. I can make that out very well. That you're going to do very well. So please, I know there are lots of pressures, academic pressures, and other kinds for a young person, but do find time to nurture this very beautiful talent of yours that you have showed us all. So it was a lovely experience listening to you all. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You even covered our vote of thanks part, but I guess it's more necessary that we express our wholesome gratitude and appreciation to you because, and the other conveners and teachers, uh, because uh, you gave us all your wisdom and the courage to perform today. So I would like to say that don't let the sun go down without saying, we can't let the sun go down without saying thank you to all. I would like to present my thanks to our judges, Ms. Priyanka Chatterjee ma'am and Mr. Jaspal Singh sir for their marking presence and leading participants to their judgment. A special thanks to our principal, Professor R.K. Gupta, who never fails to provide us motivation and be the pillar of our strength. We would also like to thank Ms. Udita Agarwal ma'am for all the guidance and support. My heartfelt thanks to our teacher coordinator, Dr. Rajkumari Pandey, who unfortunately couldn't join us today, and Dr. Chandrakant Kushawa sir for the constant support during the entire event. Our special thanks to our distinguished invitees for accepting our invitation and for the participation. Last but not the least, with a deep sense of appreciation, I would like to acknowledge the contribution of my teammates making this event a huge success. Once again, I express my gratitude for all your attention and kind support. Now, to our judges, are the results ready or will you be announcing it later?
Kiran, I have to have a little discussion with Jaspal sir because we need to tally both our marks. Okay, so is it all right if I send it to Rajkumari ma'am or Chandrakant sir later?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely fine. Actually, that is how we do it.
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
So the results will be announced soon on our Instagram platform. Do follow us on Instagram and stay updated. It's at the rate FALAK P.G.D.A.V. The link is also provided in the chat box. Also, don't forget to fill the feedback form that we will be sharing on the group. I request the participants to not leave the main group and we will announce the results on that. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, Ayushi and Kiran. Now you can end this.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. We enjoyed a lot.